Now, why am I lying on the ground in this square? Steve McShane, McShane's Nursery. This small square represents how much space the average American has to garden with. The larger square, Californians. And while we're blessed, many of us are underutilizing this space in our lives. So the purpose of this segment is container gardening as it relates to gardening in tight spaces. Let's start with the finished product. Right over here, a great assortment of arrangements. 3s, 4s, 5s, different levels of heights, incorporating perennials with annuals, and maybe even edibles goes a long way. Even more important, look at the variation available to us. Whether it be a medium-sized pot, something a little bit smaller, offering variety goes a long way. I'd also recommend considering, say, a water feature like this disappearing one right here. Perfect for a tight space. And maybe even, say, some brass. Think about it as theatrics. We are pointing and putting together a picture for our guests. Now, if this kind of upscale arrangement isn't quite your thing, the good old wine barrel goes a long way. When you purchase a wine barrel, make sure that there's holes drilled in the bottom. Ask the nursery or garden center to do it for you. And once you've got your wine barrel in place, always add plenty of drain rock. Those rocks will ensure that over time, the holes do not get plugged by soil or whatever else. Now, a lot of people come to me and ask, what about gardening in hot spots, hot patios? Well, that's where succulents and some of the sun-loving, trailing perennials come in. Look at this beautiful arrangement here. Plenty to offer, a lot of beauty, and in this case, terracotta. Notice how we're completing the picture. That tight space is now people-friendly with this arrangement and this bench right there. Now, when going for a container garden, I always recommend using something like this, pot feet. That's right, these little terracotta ones, or maybe a glazed pot feet, or something as cute as this bunny, will keep that planter up off your deck or off your concrete surface so it's not stained. And again, notice, use of perennials, edibles, flowers, even this edible nasturtium can be added to a salad. It's that easy with a tight space. Are you using your tight space? Let's get to the action. So let's say you're going to put together a container garden. This medium-sized pot right here is ready to go. I always recommend starter fertilizer. In the case of a sachet like this, it's as easy as that. Using a high-quality potting soil goes a long way as well. Pay attention to the ingredients. Things like chicken manure, worm castings, bat guano. Generous amount of potting soil. In this case, I've chosen a geranium and some lobelia. The two colors go fantastic together. You pull the geranium out, break up the roots a little bit, get it into place. Say a couple of lobelia on the outside. In time, that lobelia will trail down the side and explode with color. We're going to finish it off with some potting soil around the outside, and before long, our arrangement is looking killer. One last point. When you're done potting it, give it a generous amount of water, and don't forget to feed your landscape. I choose this organic blend, but organic or conventional, added to your plants and your garden will keep them healthier and living a lot longer. Make use of that tight space. Consider container gardening, and I'm glad you're a part of the mission to keep our beautiful world even more greener.